Hi, everyone. This is Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg at WABC and Wake Up Weather on ABC7 and Y. And, of course, for weather or not, when we talk about record warmth, our temperatures soaring toward the 80-degree mark on Wednesday as November is still on hold. And really, the rest of the week, temperatures are above average. We think these records will fall in places like Newark and Central Park. LaGuardia should get to the 80-degree mark. A lot of these records were broken set just a couple of years ago in 2022. So record warmth on Wednesday, and technically there is a cold front going through later in the day and at night, but there's not a tremendous amount of cooling behind it, so temperatures stay above normal, and there's only a slow drop later in the week and more seasonable weather by the time we get to the upcoming weekend. In terms of rainfall, starting to see some hope on the horizon. First of all, we get a spot shower tomorrow afternoon. That's not a big deal. It's mainly north and west. I don't think that reaches the city. Then by Sunday into Monday, this will be later in the day on Sunday into Monday, there's a front coming through, and it's going to tap into some Gulf moisture. So the Gulf a little bit more open for business to contribute some moisture to the north. And part of that is whatever is left of Rafael swimming around in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's probably weakening. And even if we don't get tremendous rainfall on Sunday into Monday, there's signs of another pulse of Gulf moisture that tries to come up the coast later in the week. So starting to see some signs that we can at least get some measurable rain into the picture. In terms of the tropics, Rafael's basically going to be peaking over the next 48 hours, going to be moving over the Cayman Islands toward western Cuba and likely becoming a hurricane and maybe even seeing some rapid intensification. When it gets into the Gulf, it'll still be really strong, and I'll show you the track, but overall conditions will not be conducive to maintaining that strength over the Gulf of Mexico with a lot of dry air and shear. In November, that's what happens when storms try to come that far north. We maintain the dryness, 7.5 inches below average since the beginning of the fall, 3.5 inches below for the year. Reservoirs running way below average. We really need the rainfall. When you look at the fall, it's in the second spot for driest fall on record so far. Moderate to severe drought across much of the area, and this drought monitor will only worsen as it is updated on Thursday. Beyond the 7-day and the 12th to 18th of November, just looking at near to slightly above normal in terms of precipitation, but that is a better pattern. Over just the next 7 days, the overall trend, very small chances for precipitation until we get to that Sunday, Monday time period. That doesn't look tremendous. Maybe we can get a 1/4 inch out of it, best case a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch, and then as we go later in the week, there's probably another opportunity for rainfall. Futurecast starting on Wednesday morning is that we're already above our typical daytime highs. It is balmy. There's a southwesterly breeze. It's partly cloudy, and it looks like we just become partly sunny during the day. And with a cold front approaching, there will be more clouds in the afternoon hours mixing in, especially the farther north and west you are. And I do think a few showers survive into the Poconos and Catskills. But out ahead of that, temperatures will soar into the 70s, if not near 80 degrees over interior parts of New Jersey. These showers are likely to dry out. Maybe there's a sprinkle that reaches the I-84 corridor or gets into the higher terrain of northwest New Jersey. I do not think those showers reach the coastal plain. And by the way, south-facing shores will probably be in the upper 60s. Your Wednesday night remains balmy, upper 60s and lower 70s. Beautiful evening to be out and about. The cold front limps through off to the south, and that's why we're not getting a real strong push of chillier air. So by Thursday morning, we're still mild in the upper 50s to, let's say, mid 60s. And there is a nice push of dry air, which should clear skies out on Thursday. But because the front doesn't get too far to the south, there'll be lingering cloudiness maybe over parts of Ocean County, down toward Atlantic City and Cape May. Might even be a stray shower that sits there. Most of the area should be dry and increasingly sunny as the day goes on. We can still hit the lower 70s on Thursday. A better push of drier air is coming in Thursday night into Friday, so that'll be a breezy and cooler day with a lot of sunshine. It'll be probably in the lower to mid 60s, but still a really nice day. Even cooler push coming in over the weekend. Saturday looks like the sunnier half of the weekend with high pressure basically just to our west, holding the cloud shield back. Maybe a few high thin clouds begin to come in, probably closer to the upper 50s to around 60 that day. And then the clouds start streaming in, take over the sunshine on Sunday. There still might be a little filtered sunshine early, but then clouds thicken up. And we're looking at the speed of this front. I think we'll at least start the day dry on Sunday. The earliest the showers will come in, let's say, is just after lunchtime. And then there's also a chance that it just waits until the nighttime hours on Sunday, especially with the earlier sunset. May wait until the nighttime nighttime hours. So right now we're looking at some showers on Sunday, later in the day and at night, and into the first part of Monday. And you notice this front is kind of tapped into what's ever going on in the Gulf. And at that point, is this where Rafael is? Is it a tropical storm or just weakened to a post-tropical low at that point? We'll have to see how that all evolves. Looking at Rafael, again, peaking in intensity as likely a Cat 1, maybe it borderlines into a Cat 2 hurricane, but definitely the forecasts have taken it a little bit lower into more of a Cat 1 status as it goes over western Cuba into the Gulf of Mexico. So now you're talking about Friday. Then there's definitely going to be a weakening. Now, whether it heads toward the Gulf Coast or kind of drifts into the western Gulf, that's hard to say at this point, but we know it'll be a weakening system, and I don't think we're talking about a damaging system Gulf Coast, but there'll be some gusty winds and some bands of rain that come in as it heads off to the north. And then we'll see if some of that moisture can piggyback that front that's coming in here by the end of the weekend. One thing that's really interesting is it's still just looking at our tropical models, a little bit more consensus now that we've got this sort of left-hand turn into the Gulf and then headed more toward the Louisiana Gulf Coast. So we'll see if that continues to hold. If that is in fact the case, then I think that's a more favorable situation for us getting some of that moisture to get onto the front Sunday, later Sunday into Monday. What we do think will happen is, at least initially, is some of that moisture is going to be tapped with a first of two fronts that goes into the southeast. So unfortunately, areas that got hammered by Helene probably get some flooding rains there. And then it's the second front that wants to tap into some of that moisture. Now, right now, this particular model is only saying light amounts in about a tenth or two. But I think there is at least the potential for over a quarter of an inch of rainfall, which, obviously the bar is very low. We haven't gotten significant rainfall here since the 29th of September, so hopefully we can get quarter to a half inch of rainfall. Looking at the overall steering currents, big ridge in the east here with our warm up through the middle of the week. Little cooling coming in for the weekend. That seems transient. Looks like we'll warm things up again as we head into early next week. We'll see a cooler pool of air overall stay north, but then starts to pour into the upper Midwest. It translates eastward, and this could be some of our coolest weather of the season as we go to about the 15th. Looking at temperatures, though, in terms of the Climate Prediction Center, suggesting the signals continue with the overall theme of below normal temperatures west, above normal east, even though you might get some flashes of cooler than normal. And just in the overall 10-day trend, after we get through the period of 70s and the end of the week is still mild, get a cooler weekend, pop back into the mid-60s, and there's that cooler air coming in the 15th. And I would think that the 16th would be even cooler than that as we head into the following weekend. So 7 in the morning on your Wednesday, look at that, 65 degrees, partly cloudy and breezy, unseasonably mild. Southwest winds 7 to 14, gusting to 20. During the day tomorrow, mid and upper 70s with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. I can see a spot shower well off to the north and west. We're on for a high of 78 with that spot shower. Tomorrow night down to 63, partly cloudy, continued mild. We're still going for 70s on Thursday. It's not a record, but it's still significantly above average. But it is much cooler on Thursday night, down to 49. 65, breezy, sunny, bright on Friday. Lower humidity, too. Now, our fire danger has definitely been elevated. But the fact is that our dew points and our humidity, it's actually been in more of a 55 to 65% humidity, and that will continue into your Wednesday. Once we start getting into later Thursday and Friday, our humidity start to drop, probably in more of that 30% range. So our fire danger will even be higher as we go through late week, especially when the breezy conditions come back in on Friday. Saturday's calmer and it's sunny, about 59. Clouds take over on Sunday. Maybe there's some late day rain or some showers at night that will go into the first part of Monday. We'll hope for a quarter of an inch or more. We should dry out and clear out by late day Monday, if not by Monday night, and the sunshine's returning by Tuesday. We're at 63. That's your latest AccuWeather forecast, which you can always get on ABC7 NY 24/7. Thanks for listening to Weather or Not. We'll see you next time, rain or shine.